Get a clap going.
Hey everyone, welcome to Deep Thoughts on SNL, a claptastic Saturday Night Live companion podcast. I'm Rob Moden. With me today, just annoying the shit out of the audio listeners, is going by first name alphabetical.
Leah Sueko.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
And
live.
Matthew Smith, going away from you. The opposite of coming at you.
That was some really, really fantastically bad clapping in sync on our part.
I know. This is like a summer camp game now.
Can I see how close in sync you guys can get, considering the delay on the live hangout? Just like if you try to clap along with me, and this will entertain.
Wait, let's count it in. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are we going on 3, 4? Wait, 4?
All right, good job. Good job.
We've lost absolutely everyone. What is this? This is garbage.
I liked it. I would listen to this.
How's everybody? How's everyone's week been?
Good. I saw Furious 7.
I get to see that tomorrow. I rewatched 4 of the Fast and Furious movies this weekend, though.
Oh man, there's so many moments that are worth talking about that I can't ruin for you yet.
Okay. But is it
basically every time The Rock shows up, something amazing happens?
I sprung for the VIP seats at the Cineplex theaters, which
I've only
done Varsity in Toronto. Is like it's just like a big screen TV and like 16 lazy boys. Like that's their version of VIP. I'm hoping the Young Dundas version is a lot better.
Yeah, I ended up seeing Blue Jasmine at the Varsity the one time, and without realizing that I was getting VIP tickets at the time.
You're paying so much, and then it's just like, oh, this is just like sitting in a stranger's living room with a bunch of people you don't know. Yeah. It's very uncomfortable.
If I want to spend $10 for a beer, I'm free to take it into the theater with me.
Mm-hmm. Leah?
That's awfully curmudgeon-y. People love sitting on couches with strangers and drinking beer that costs $10. No?
Well, maybe
it's still in university. I don't know.
Maybe in Portland, where everything costs everything. To sit next
where
to strangers.
Everything costs everything. Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. Artisanal movie seats.
Oh, I do love those artisanal movie seats.
That weirdly sounds as if, like, in a Fast and Furious type movie, they were like trying to talk up a city about how great it is. And it's like everything costs everything, except it's about Portland, so it doesn't make any goddamn sense. I do want to see a Fast and Furious movie set in Portland. That would be amazing.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Portland, Maine. In Portland, Maine.
Leah, how was your week?
Yeah, it was top notch.
Awesome. So let's talk about
some talking points. Way to go.
Guys, this was a great episode, I thought.
Yeah. Oh.
It might have even beaten The Rock.
No.
It absolutely.
Down. Whoa.
Yeah, this is my new favorite host for the season.
So we've got 2 pro Keaton and 1 pro Rock. Is that correct?
I thought Keaton was okay. I thought he was kind of stumbly on some of the lines, especially during the monologue. He seemed a little
the monologue
not nervous, but like just struggling with the cue cards at times.
No,
that's just him. That's Keaton.
Yeah.
You gotta love Keaton. You're talking more about the host, like host versus host, and on that front, absolutely, Dwayne Johnson. Almost nobody can match his charisma.
Right.
But in terms of episode overall, writing, performance, just how weird and delightful it was, Keaton's episode, I thought, just beat The Rock's.
I'll give you weird and delightful, but I don't know. I think some of the one-liners that The Rock got to do in the wrestling sketch and the good cop, bad cop stuff, I thought some of those were just so far out there in a brilliant way that there were some good ones in this episode, but not in the same way. And I'm a sucker for those sort of like non sequitur type things.
She's shaking her head now.
Leah shakes her head disapprovingly.
Leah, would you like to say why you disagree?
No, I think he was a better host than The Rock. I enjoyed him a lot more than The Rock. Yeah, maybe he didn't have the energy that The Rock had, but that I don't feel like there are lots of ways to be a good host, not just by being the most.
Can we agree that the past 2 weeks were an excellent showcase for the hairpiece department of Saturday Night Live?
Right? Yeah, every time he came in, different wig. It was crazy.
Different wig, like the past 2 weeks for every sketch.
Well,
Yeah, they've been
you
working
get a bald
overtime.
guy, and you get a older man, and older balding man, and then Do you think like the hair people hear those hosts, and they're just like, oh boy, this is my week. I get to go crazy.
Do you think they're that excited over it? You think
Yeah,
they're rubbing their hands together?
just
That they have
down
like a week to put like 20 different wigs together?
and clap.
And they clap those hands together. Can't.
I think the hair people did a great job. I thought the writers did a great job. This is probably the lowest number of misses for me in terms of sketches. I thought the opening college basketball one was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the ad agency one was okay, and then everything else was pretty great.
I thought the CNN one wasn't all that great.
I loved the CNN one. I
loved
laughing
CNN.
hysterically.
Really?
Yeah, the puppets. Oh my god! As soon as the puppets came out, I was like, oh.
Let's launch into this one. Sorry, Matt, I just cut you off, but I thought that the animation was delightfully crude. The puppets were great, and then it's been noted in many reviews online that there was something transcendent about the just image of Michael Keaton in a pastry chef outfit, wagging his finger no rhythmically, starting to get more and more dancey as Keaton and Adie are coming in and out, and just like the Casio keyboard music was like starting to just rise. It was great. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic. It was
They
so
had moments
fun.
I liked, but I wouldn't go fantastic. It was
Oh,
I liked the
totally,
reference to the
no.
Dire Straits Money for Nothing video as being the animators. And I like how when they started talking about a locked door a second time, they went back to the same video. And I don't know, like even I enjoyed the joke at the end with talking about Hillary Clinton doing the emails, and they cut to a cat.
It was a kitty cat.
But for some
Ah!
reason, they make Cecily say that's actually a cat. It's like, yes, we all know it's actually a cat. Why would she feel?
I
the need to say
didn't.
that?
Not until she said, and then I was like, oh, that's right. There are ears.
I think we have bigger
From the
problems to
dogs.
discuss if you didn't know that was a cat.
It looked a lot like Hillary Clinton, to be fair.
Yeah, it was. It was again a credit to the hairpiece department of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, amazing.
How often do you think they get requests? All right, we need a kitten wig and a little kitten pantsuit.
More often than you'd think. Probably
I
a lot of
would
them
live for
die in
that.
dress rehearsal.
I would live for that if I was on the staff. I will say that I probably enjoyed it even more in retrospect once people started retweeting Colin Jost's tweet from midweek, where he had taken just a picture of CNN doing their coverage, and they actually did have like an animated reenactment of a pilot knocking on a door. That made it a little better in retrospect. Even when I was watching it, I really enjoyed it. Even though for the first minute straight, I was the most uncomfortable I could be about a sketch, just because that German Wings story is the most depressing, fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was primed to just like, please don't say anything about it. Please.
Not
just
a lot of humor to mine from that situation.
No.
Yeah, I feel like this week they actually did. There were quite a few sketches that I was kind of. I don't know if impressed is the right word, but kind of like, ooh, like I felt like it was teetering on maybe this isn't a good idea to do this.
Neurotology.
Neurotology, I was like, oh, they're coming after you fuckers. Like, I was like, you've just endangered all your lives. But also, like, all of the, like, Christianity, Jewish jokes, I was kind of...
there was a few of those.
Yeah, there was quite a few of those, and I was like, oh, like, just, I don't know, almost like slamming the Jewish faith to an extent, and I was just kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
so Jewish people have good senses of humor.
They had two jokes of that nature, like the same sort of, like there was one in Weekend Update where it's like, nice try, Jews.
Yeah.
What you say, and in the last sketch where he's unleavened bread, unlike Jesus, it doesn't rise.
Right, yeah.
Well, I retweeted somebody last night during the middle of the show who's not a follower of us. It just somehow got into the timeline, at Maker of Cloth, who just said SNL gives no fucks tonight. And that was around the update. Like by Jebidiah Atkinson, who was even more vicious than usual, I feel like. they just seemed to like nobody cared about like pulling any punches.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way as well. I was impressed more than anything.
That's something they need to do to stay relevant, to stay in the commenting on the discourse and what's going on now, where it's you have to take chances and risk offending certain people. And
well, speaking of which, it seemed like Update is starting to move into that area where that could really define what Che and Jost are, because they had a number of jokes, both of them, that seemed to like get groans from the audience or like gasps. Che making a joke that only the U.S. Have used nuclear weapons, and then like ad-libbing. It was only twice or something like that.
Yeah.
What was Jost's big semi-rant that got like a gasp or something?
About Israel, him comparing Mel Gibson to the
Netanyahu?
Yeah.
Yeah, and saying like who would be more offended about being compared to the other?
Yeah, and it would be Mel Gibson.
It was a solid update. Update has started to get on a roll now. I'm starting to get on board with Che and Jost. It took a while, but I'm starting to get there. Matt seems meh.
Che didn't flub any lines, I don't think, this week, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, I'm still not behind Che. He kind of, I don't know if he ventured into the area of no return with me, but I just kind of don't enjoy him as...
He plays everything with a smirk. Like, even when he's interacting with someone like Atkinson and whatnot, it seems like it's the same sort of demeanor that he has for everything. And
yeah, but I can't fault a smirk in an update anchor, because that would be half the update anchors in all of history.
I was talking more about his comments on women's issues and things like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you said point of no return, I got that. Yeah. Where just like his past Twitter behavior has kind of colored him in the wrong way.
Yeah, for me personally, I have a little bit of a grudge against him, and I don't know if he will ever be good enough or funny enough to come back from that, because I don't enjoy him that much watching him. So
I agree with everything Leah said.
Let's shame him. Guys, have you been reading John Ronson's book about Twitter shaming? Pretty great. Stop clapping. Please stop clapping. No.
I missed the clapping. I missed it.
Speaking of update, Pete Davidson came back. Pete Davidson, has he started hitting diminishing returns? Matt?
I think two things that I just get exhausted of hearing about are zombie apocalypse and what you would do in the zombie apocalypse, and general stoner humor. There seems like there's a lot of retread ground on that whole thing, and then he combined the two of them. So I was I didn't think it was terrible to be fair, but it's two buttons for me where it's like I've heard this all before. And there was an awkwardness to it, like the way the arrow just sprung up from his. You could clearly see it just jump up. So.
Well, I was wondering why his hands were like completely down. Like it was really weird that he was doing like a stand-up delivery, but like he could not move his arms because I guess he's holding a spring down.
His awkward shift to the left to be able to do it, so it looked like he was being shot from off camera, and him and like Norman Reedus showing up and then having just sort of awkward pauses between everything that they said. But I don't know. I'm sure the Walking Dead fans had fun with it.
Did anybody?
I am not among them. So.
Has anybody drafted Norman Reedus to be?
I was wondering if somebody drafted him.
Not in our league, but maybe.
He wouldn't have been a bad pick, to be fair.
I assume Andrew Lincoln would have been first.
Yeah, Andrew Lincoln would be a much better pick, but Norman's
the more popular one.
Yeah, he is. He's a fan favorite.
Is he the breakout character?
Yeah.
Of that, I've never seen an episode, so I just assume based on what I've heard.
I'm trying to think of a parallel TV show. He would probably be the Saul Goodman of Walking Dead.
So he's getting a spin-off.
Like the Samantha.
A spin-off that has no business being as good as it is.
Leah's in a giggly mood.
Samantha, Angela.
Leah, what did you think of Jebidiah Atkinson?
I love Jebidiah. I do, but at the same time, it's just not as funny. It's not as fresh. I think they need to let it go.
No, I thought that his.
I'm gonna go the other way.
They finally like completely turned it into a thing where it's just trying to agitate the audience and get as many gaps as
Well,
possible.
no, I feel like this audience was more in on the joke that they needed to pretend to be offended, because I feel like they were actually playing along with him, and I feel like that gave it a lot of renewed energy that it didn't have the other 2 times he was on.
I feel like the only time they were really offended was the Joe Paterno line, and I could see that's the one that catches people off guard. So I feel like they weren't really playing it up necessarily. I felt like it was a somewhat genuine audience reaction.
I would have to go back and check, but it might have been my favorite Jebidiah Atkinson.
I like
Really?
the one.
No, the first one is the best.
I wanted him to make a connection between bad television, Mad Men, some sort of meta commentary on Mad TV. Why did that not happen? That seemed like a T-ball, just like set up for Taron Killam to knock out of the
I'm
park.
pretty sure the audience forgot Mad TV exists, so what's the point?
I thought Mad
But it
Men
would have
was,
been appealed to us. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought Mad Men was over. I didn't.
Not yet.
Well, if you want to
How
know,
is How has this been in the last season, like the last 3 years?
the last season starts tonight, actually.
They
last
split the
season was
final
last
season
They did the thing where they split the last season into 2 halves, so...
because
so
they thought it would do the same as Mad Men, even though Mad Men... They thought it would do the same as Breaking Bad. The reason why Breaking Bad became a ratings powerhouse towards the end was that it was, I think, much more twist and surprise and suspense driven than Mad Men ever will be.
You don't know. They might start drug dealing.
Just like suddenly everybody starts dying on Mad Men instead of just like getting existential. Guys, did you see last night when they got existential? Oh, don't ruin it for
To
me.
be fair, they did kill off a character in their finale last year, so...
Yes, but you know what I mean. Just like
I know what you mean. Like,
you
even
don't
when
have to watch.
Even when they announced it, I was like, as a fan of Mad Men since season 1, it's been ridiculous, like splitting it. Like, that's not the kind of show. Like, each episode takes place almost like a month after each other. So there was no. It's not the same kind of show that you do big cliffhangers with and spread out. It was a bad decision, I felt like at the time, but I don't know. That's what AMC had to do because they didn't have anything else worth watching.
Welcome back to Programming Decisions with Rob, Leah, and Matt.
We have Better Call Saul now, though. That's pretty good.
What else was there? What was Leah? What was your favorite sketch?
Oh, golly gee. I don't know. Throw out some examples of sketch.
Matt, what was your favorite sketch?
Oh, my favorite sketch. Maybe, I gotta say, in retrospect, I went and watched the Scientology video that the Neurotology one was based on. And it's almost like a shot-for-shot parody of an actual music video. And I kind of really appreciate what they did there. And again, taking chances because we know how powerful the Church of Scientology is.
Their lawyers are going to have a busy, busy week.
Oh,
Yeah.
so busy.
And just like the captions that they put up, they say, like, what was the L. Ron Hubbard stand-in died of pink eye.
Right after they sang the line about him never dying, yeah.
Yeah.
Thorpe, I think, was the name of the god they were worshipping. And just as I said, people went straight from this into a neurotology prison and just different lines like that throughout. So
Thrown off a boat. That was my favorite.
So yeah, that was probably my favorite.
I think maybe Mike O'Brien, of course, was probably my favorite.
Strong week for filmed bits. Yeah, the neurotology bit was. I mean, I just want to add on that all the fashions were great. It was fun seeing Colin Jost in that turtleneck and the glasses and the smile.
Was that him?
Was that him?
I
Yeah,
thought that was Taryn. I thought that was
Taryn too.
Taryn.
Yeah.
No, Taryn was the billionaire executive who got very intense towards the end.
No, I know, but I thought he was playing both of them.
Me too.
I thought
Me too.
Taryn was both.
No, Jost was the very smiley guy in the brown turtleneck and glasses.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Wow.
Weird.
But the fashion was on point. The song was catchy. Yeah.
It was.
And then the prom bet one. I don't know how that's premise must have been done in sketch comedy somewhere before, right? Like the prom bet, but about the teacher instead of.
Yeah, surely.
But
Because it seems so genius.
Well, I felt like it didn't go anywhere beyond the initial concept, where it's like, oh, we're going to do a teacher going in. And I mean, they established early on that this is his 6th time going for prom king, so he's not a minor, I guess, so that made it all okay.
Yeah, that was the big piece of information I think you needed to enjoy.
Once they finally set that up, I don't feel like there was any subversion beyond that. It didn't show us any scenes at the prom itself.
It became like a performance thing. Like Michael Keaton was amazing throughout it, and like that weird face, which is like the I believe it's the podcast cover art, is him doing that.
Yeah.
And
I actually love Vanessa Bayer's weird little.
I thought she was great. Well, it's 7:30. I'm going to bed. I'm gonna put my Vicks Vapor Rub on and then go to bed.
I love it. Like she was wearing like a turtleneck underneath her like pajamas.
Yeah. And I also enjoy the idea of Mike O'Brien as like 6-year running prom king.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. More Mike O'Brien. I don't know. Do you think it takes like him a month to write these things or prep these things? Like he only gets one a month, it seems, onto the show. I wish it was more often.
It's probably. I mean, yeah. There's probably a lot of pre-production and stuff that goes into something like that, and you're expected to write stuff. He's probably helping with other people's. I don't know how the writers' room necessarily works there, but.
Mm-hmm. I really liked Grandmother Call Line.
Oh, I did like Grandmother Caroline too.
That was one of my favorite Sashir bits.
Sashir was really good bridging those together, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know what was happening.
Ooh, how about you just overlap with each other for the rest of the conversation?
Yeah.
Well, her and Leslie actually did that, but I don't think they were supposed to.
I was gonna.
Leslie started talking over Sashir, and I was like, I think that's another Leslie Jones line reading.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Leslie Jones, I didn't think did very well in that one. That was kind of the low point of the skit.
I mean, at least she didn't yell at everybody, which she usually does. So it was good to see her modulating that. But I don't know.
I thought Taryn's performance was very good. Just going immediately from like "Hi, Grandma" to like within 10 seconds, you can map the arc on his face of just realizing this is why he does not call his grandparents.
Yeah.
I liked Cecily as the shaky old woman at the beginning, and when she answers the phone, it's like, "What is this for?"
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my grandson to call.
Mm-hmm.
I am your grandson. Okay, bye.
And just talking to Taryn, like, are you still friends with Gregory or whatever the kid's name is? Like, does he still like trees?
Wasn't it like, do you remember when you came back in your little underwears? Was it, or I can't remember.
Your little peepees or something like that?
Yeah, you guys were sword fighting with your penises or something like that. Okay, bye, Grandpa.
The monologue was maybe one of the stronger monologues.
I loved the monologue. I loved the taped parts and the whole.
I thought it was pretty
Batman
good,
thing.
and then the taped cutaways like knocked it up to another notch.
Oh,
Like, as far as the musical monologues go, it was one of the better ones I think they've done.
The combination of high quality filmed bits and then cut right to like Lasercats quality microsoft footage.
And the Beetlejuice one where Bobby walks through the background, sort of going like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was so fantastic. It was so fun.
And Pharaoh showing up dressed as Prince and Bat Dance Prince and Harry Belafonte. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like
and
that.
then Easter sketch.
6 weeks to live based on a guesstimate based on his life choices.
Yeah.
That's pretty good at Bobby. And then the Easter one, which was seemingly, I think it was a sequel to Ed Norton's Halloween Candy.
Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't know if I was reading too much into it, thinking it was a little meta, considering what Birdman's about, and it's about Edward Norton kind of taking over.
That's nice job, Leah. I did not make that connection.
Yeah. And this time it was Michael Keaton copying something Edward Norton had done.
Yeah, that crossed my mind too, but I don't know if in that.
But I said it first, Matt.
He might have even come in and said like, "Oh, my co-star showed me a thing you did. I want to do that."
Yeah. I'm wondering. I can't remember with that Norton one. Did they explicitly say that it was Edward Norton playing himself in that sketch?
I can't remember.
Because in this one, I liked at the end where they said it was specifically Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's what kind of threw me off in this one because I don't remember it being Edward Norton.
Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed the idea like that was Michael Keaton doing himself in that sketch.
What else was there? There was the opening about college basketball.
And I want to mention Kate in that sketch as Portia. Yep. Because when she's hiding, it's like the child chicken that she's holding. Mm-hmm. Tries to feed a McNugget.
Sorry, I feel like we're in
online.
We're in the part of the show where it's just like, oh, this was all good, this was good, and so there's not necessarily much to talk about. So I'm just kind of running through them. But Smart Home was like really slow to get going, but once it did, I enjoyed it.
I didn't like Smart Home.
You just reminded me of like a child, just like because like, no, and then
I'm always a
squirming
sucker
away
for
from the
anything that
camera.
involves googly eyes, so the sketch met that threshold.
Googly eyes.
Yeah, just like Christopher Walken's googly-eyed plants.
I like Cecily gets some good weird line readings where it's like, good eye, great observation.
She was
But he
great in
hasn't
that
added
sketch.
science yet.
Cecily's strange voiced characters can be very hit or miss, but I really enjoyed it in this sketch.
The British one from last week might be the best thing that she's ever done.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I gotta grab something. But entertain yourselves. I'll edit this out.
Clapping. He's gone. Let's clap.
No, we should do something really valuable that he can't edit out. Let's get really profound. What did you feel were the Machiavellian themes that arose in the Final Four monologue opening sketch?
Oh, thank God he's back.
Well, screw you.
What were we talking about?
Talking
Carly
about.
Rae Jepsen? I don't know.
Oh, I did not like her haircut.
I liked her
That's the important thing.
Talk about
for
people's
the first number.
haircuts?
Are we allowed to, did you say?
No, remember when we used to talk about the musical guest haircuts?
I don't remember at all, no.
That was like a bit we did for. I actually think we just talked about Justin Timberlake's hair like a couple of weeks in a row.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I was trying to emulate that at the time. I need a haircut, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that. I was trying to bring a nice way of bringing it up that you need a haircut.
It hurts. There was the opening about college basketball, which was, coming in the wake of John Oliver, it's kind of part of me doesn't want to say destroyed, because that's the cliche now. It's like, John Oliver destroys, blah. But coming in on the heels of his takedown of the NCAA, and the whole athletes are students first and athletes second.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it in premise, but it was kind of a long.
Rob Moden destroys other people's use of the word destroy.
I'm pretty sure John Oliver did a sketch about him always just being referred to as destroying topics. And anyway, last week's night. Hey, look, I got a mug here. Look at that. Boom.
I'm so
You're
impressed.
on top of the mug game today.
Whoa.
Yep.
I'm going to name
Whoa.
something, and then you present a mug for it. Caroline in the City.
I drink water out of this, so,
I drink out of a Gatorade bottle. G2.
This is so
Great.
interesting. So
Is there
interesting.
Gatorade in there?
I
Or
hope
is it
so.
just
Or I'm
bottle?
drinking something really weird.
Finally, the ad agency sketch.
I came to the conclusion
Buffalo Wild
that
Wings study tent.
they just need to stop using that set because they've yet to have a funny sketch set in that room.
I didn't recognize the sketch. The set. Is
boardroom?
that always?
The boardroom, yeah.
Is it always the same?
Yeah, every
Is that
time
when they
have,
did Fart Face? Did you dislike Fart Face?
Can we talk about Labatos, the official cereal of the Labatt Blue Brewing Company?
That's a horrible cereal name. Labatos?
But it was like that wasn't even. It's like that wasn't even meant to be the joke of the sketch because the only comedic part was Keaton. But here's this product that's based on a beer company, like a children's cereal.
Wait,
It
is
was
this a real
really
thing, or was
confusing.
this? I might have missed this part of the sketch. Is this a real thing, or is this?
This is the Beck Bennett presents. This is what we're trying to do a pitch for, and it was
Okay.
Labato cereal, the official cereal of the Labatt Blue Brewing Company. I was like, where did that come from? It has
is
like
the Bad Blue more of a Canadian thing? I thought it was a Canada
It is.
only thing.
No, I think it is available in the States now, but.
So the joke was that it was an obscure beer company on top of a beer company's cereal.
It was really confusing. Like the audience didn't react to it whatsoever.
The audience was slow to react in multiple sketches. They were very slow until that great eye, good observation. They did not laugh at the smart home thing at all.
They probably didn't laugh because it wasn't funny at all.
Okay, the ad agency thing, it was mostly weird. There were a couple of funny lines, a little too much on boners. I enjoyed his stomach bleeding. Does that summarize what people thought?
I enjoyed anything where he talked about the camera, where it's like the camera jiggles because the cameraman was laughing too much. A shot of the ceiling because he laughed so hard he had a heart attack and stuff like that. I enjoyed. But yeah, other than that, it wasn't. It was just a whole lot of Houston, we have a boner.
He is just smiling.
But yeah, it was a passable sketch and a passable show.
But a solid show overall. A really good show. Like, Matt, you're wrong.
What?
I just want to say that it wasn't a solid show. It was a really good show.
It was a really good show. It was a really
good.
Well,
Disagree
I hated
to
Carly
agree.
Rae Jepsen's haircut.
I hated her haircut too. It was awful.
I really didn't like her haircut.
Let's talk about points. For anybody who doesn't know, we do a Saturday Night Live Fantasy League, which is just what it sounds like. It's a sports fantasy league, but with Saturday Night Live cast members. We each draft a few of them. It's arbitrary points. We give them out for showing up and doing things like being nude and swearing and stuff, singing. So, where do people think that Michael Keaton scored on our arbitrary point system?
I feel like he disappeared for a little bit, but I'm going to say low 70s. He danced a little bit.
59.
I don't know. Really?
By my count, he had 47.
What?
And that is before potentially -10, because it was very much borderline whether or not he thanked the cast. And Russell has a rule.
He did thank the cast. He did.
He said all the people back here. That's very vague, and I don't know if Russell's going to go for that. The rule is if they don't thank the cast, it loses 10 points. So he could go down to 37, assuming my unofficial numbers match Russell's official numbers.
I thought he said the cast, and it was really quiet, and then he said all these guys back here. I thought that's what he said. No?
I would call that a pass.
I went back.
And by the way, Russell is the one who drafted Michael Keaton, so I wouldn't worry about that too much.
I did go back and watch it, but anyway. He did kind of disappear after Update, but that's mostly because there were only 2 sketches after Update.
Yeah.
It's top-heavy night. Who do we think is the #1 cast member?
Taryn.
Very close this week. Taryn is number 3 with 56.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Cecily was #1 with 59.
Oh, okay.
And Keenan with 58.
Oh, that
Really?
guy.
Keenan.
And then Pete with 53.
Ugh.
And Bobby with 51.
I love Bobby.
Interesting night overall. And then going down the list, Sashir 44, Jay 41, Kate 39, Beck 36, 80 29, Vanessa 24, Kyle 17, Leslie 10. We're on a first name basis with all of these people.
Quiet night for Kyle Mooney by recent standards.
I mean, bigger night for Beck Bennett is kind of
It seemed like they remembered they had Beck Bennett again, because he's been getting appearing more.
This season, or at least 2015 so far, Kyle has been featured a lot more than Beck, and that's I don't know. I feel like we always feel urged to compare them because they came in at the same time. It's part of the same troupe. They're in the same film bits, and then a lot of people seem to bet that Beck, being the more conventional looking and conventionally comedic of the two, would be kind of the favorite.
I compare them because it's basically going to decide whether I win this league or not.
True. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. And then, but yeah, I had a very good week between Keenan and Taryn and Pete making up the top 4. I'm very happy with myself.
Well, I got both songs right, so suck on that.
All right, well done for 15 points. You got both songs?
Yeah.
How'd you get all that? The second one that hadn't
been
announced. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I'll tell you after the season so you don't steal my methods.
I didn't even submit song choices.
Of course you didn't.
The Sueko way.
Shall we talk about news?
News we can use.
So here's the thing.
We need a theme song for news.
We used to do Weekend Update stingers, but that was too hard to edit, so it was just a pain. I don't like to edit anymore. So,
okay. Then we'll be perfect from here on out.
Oh, I shouldn't have revealed that. Oh no. Here's the thing. This week was something called April Fools. We didn't take part in it, but there was a story. It came out in the Hollywood Reporter, and the first line of the story was, "This is not an April Fool's joke." Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig apparently had already filmed a Lifetime TV movie that was a quasi-spoof of Lifetime movies in honor of the channel's 25th anniversary, which I think had been written by Andrew Steele, who's an old Saturday Night Live writer around from, I think, both of their eras. And so that came out, and it was supposed to be coming out late summer. It was, I think, it was called A Deadly Adoption, and I think it must have been about adopting a child that tries to kill them or something. I don't know.
I heard it's like they bring in a woman that she's pregnant and they're going to adopt the baby when she gives birth to it or something. But I don't remember how Deadly entered into it.
Yeah, I just made up the plot off the top of my head. I should have been very clear that that was just what I had assumed it was.
Mm-hmm.
However, after that, which again came out April 1st, but in an article that said this is not an April Fool's joke, Will Ferrell then made a statement to, I think, Variety, saying that they were very disappointed that their surprise had gotten out, and basically they were pulling the plug on the movie. The way he worded it, it sounded like it had not been filmed yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's just a guess of, like, was this ever a thing? Was it a thing that had been filmed already and now they're pulling the plug, which seems like a big expense? Was it a thing they were planning to film? Or the camp I'm in right now is it was a real thing. It was meant to be a secret. It's no longer a secret. And so they are saying it's canceled so that it can go back to being a secret.
And then they're going to show up with this movie at some point. And it's like, we were lying about not doing it.
It might be a Too Many Cooks thing where it just airs at like 2 a.m. sometime or something. I don't know.
Right.
Leah, what are your thoughts, since this is the first time you've ever even heard of this?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of thoughts because, frankly, I don't care.
Going back to like the childish phase, I don't know, I don't really have many thoughts, and you're just like leaning back and not even paying attention and not looking into.
She's gonna start playing with a mobile.
Matt, what are your thoughts?
I heard the concept and I wanted to see it, so I'm kind of upset that we might not get to see whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hope it's a lie, and especially if it's already been filmed. Like, if Will Ferrell's going to say we're not going to do it now, if it's already been filmed, then who's he to stop them from airing it? Like maybe they don't want to piss off Will Ferrell, but at the same time, is Will Ferrell ever going to work for Lifetime ever again? So
I'm trying to look up now.
Seems like a safe bridge to burn.
Exactly.
People were involved with Casa de Mi Padre because so it was the same writer as Casa de Mi Padre. So I don't know if you've seen Casa de Mi Padre, which was Will Ferrell's all-Spanish spoof of telenovelas, but it might be okay that we are not seeing this movie that was written by the same people.
It sounds awful. It sounds awful, and it doesn't sound like it would be the slightest bit funny, to be honest.
Well, what do you know?
It seems like the premise would be the largest part of the joke.
Yeah, I can see.
Again, in Casa de Mi Padre.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Something like this would work better as a surprise, where someone just like word of mouth starts to spread. It's like, I turned on Lifetime the other night, and I saw Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell in there.
Yeah.
Or even if they had like released trailers, but it had like somehow focused on like every other character, like it had hidden that it was Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell all together.
Like that first Muppets trailer that focused on Jason Segel and Amy Adams, and then they slowly reveal that Miss Piggy and Kermit are in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good trailer.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, I feel like we're going to see it in some form eventually, especially because I do believe The Hollywood Reporter is credible enough that I do believe it was filmed at some point, and now Will Ferrell is trying to pretend it wasn't.
Yeah, it's probably trying to salvage it in that sort of regard. But yeah, it's I don't know. Well, I like that Will Ferrell is at this point where he just does whatever the hell he wants, and like that and the baseball thing that he did a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because he can do his big box office things like Get Hard, and then he can just do whatever he wants in his spare time, and he tends to do that. So
Kristen Wiig's career choices right now are very interesting to me. I don't know why, but like she had Bridesmaids, and then she could have done Bridesmaids 2 or another big comedy immediately, and she kept on turning them down.
Yeah.
She did a couple of indie movies, including Skeleton Twins.
I feel like she hasn't done a single thing since Bridesmaids that was meant to be like a mainstream thing.
Can't think of it.
I liked Skeleton Twins a lot, but I mean that was never meant to be a wide release film or anything like that.
I guess now she has Ghostbusters on the way, but it seems like and actually Secret Life of Walter Mitty and Despicable Me. But it does seem like there was a special effort that's like, all right, Bridesmaids was big.
Didn't Anchorman 2 come out after Bridesmaids?
Oh yeah, she was in Anchorman 2. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was. She was the star of Bridesmaids, whereas she was a voice in Despicable Me. She had I think, an unannounced cameo probably in Anchorman 2. Well, they announced everything in that movie. But
She had a large part in Anchorman 2.
she was a love interest for Brick.
Yes.
That's not a large part.
I felt like it was like half of the movie. I turned it off like a quarter of the way through, but I felt like that was half of the movie.
The alternate version, like the alternate joke version, not the extended version, but the alternate joke version is actually probably the best of the different Anchorman 2s. But it was still not.
It's on Netflix now, but I don't know what version is on Netflix.
Probably theatrical or just regular extended.
Probably the one that was still shitty.
It just seems like there was she knew that she could have starred in a big comedy film right away, and has just kind of put it off, knowing that, especially Paul Feig being on his own role, that she could kind of come back to it any time. But that being said, like, none of her indie or dramatic roles have kind of necessarily broken out majorly. Skeleton Twins was probably the most well received so far, but
yeah, but that's still. I was really, really disappointed with Skeleton Twins, especially after everything I had read about it
and everything that this guys in this podcast right now kept on talking about it.
Yeah, I was very, very disappointed with that movie.
I liked that movie.
No, Matt.
It was worth it for the Starship scene alone.
Yeah, okay.
When she finally caves and start doing the lip syncing along with them is fantastic. It's very cathartic. And the ending I sort of had problems with, like when she finds him in the pool or whatever, or vice versa. But
I remember there being moments in there that just made me go like, what?
The Ty Burrell stuff
I can't
was
remember
weird. The Ty Burrell stuff was really
weird. The Ty Burrell stuff was very weird. Uncomfortable.
I like Luke Wilson. It was fun to see Luke Wilson.
Yeah, Luke Wilson was the only part I liked of that movie, but I have a big crush on Luke Wilson.
And Bill Hader kind of maybe being a little too stereotypical gay archetype.
Yeah.
You think so? I thought he did a really good job.
The kind of like
he's into dressing up like a woman seems almost like a cliche gay stereotype sort of
thing.
Was
he into dressing up like a woman, or did he just dress up like a woman in a scene?
He was really into it to a degree that I don't think is common.
I'm really dressing like a woman.
How about we end this with some trivia? Play some trivia.
I don't want this to ever end. This is the best day of my life.
Oh,
what a sad life. Oh,
well, that's true too.
That sounds like something I would say.
Look, it's Easter. We're doing this at Easter. We haven't mentioned that. Where none of us are eating with our family. I had a McDonald's dinner for Easter dinner, and still what you just said was the saddest thing that's happened today.
I bought some bacon at the Rabba that I'm going to fry up in a few minutes.
Oh, I went and bought 2 dozen eggs because it was $3 for 2 dozen eggs, and I thought that was a good bargain.
That's pretty good, yeah.
That is.
I'm going to go egg some houses.
I'll go downstairs and get some chocolate eggs.
Well.
Go downstairs to Shoppers. All right.
If they're still open.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 6 Degrees of SNL, which Matt has not come up with a better title for.
Is this a game? Did I come up with a game?
I think it was on a Brian guest-hosted thing where you were insulting the name of the game, 6 Degrees of SNL, which is based on the idea that the hosts that you have to match with the musical guests have worked with Michael Keaton or the host in some way.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's 6 Degrees. Who's Brian?
Yeah.
Some guy who went to Australia just fucked off. So we don't care.
He went down to a land down under.
I started hanging around with comedians with their own bigger podcasts, so now he's too big for us.
Hey, on Facebook he just said he lost his luggage on the way home, so it'd be nice.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I don't feel bad. I don't know who it is.
You cold-hearted snake.
So what we're going to do, we're going to have 6 Degrees of SNL, and then we're going to do the calendar trivia. However, whoever wins 6 Degrees of SNL gets to go first in calendar trivia, and then gets to pass the question off to the other person if it's too hard.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wrinkles.
I've been inspired by Brian. Brian did a great job with trivia when he did it, by the way. And
Who?
so I've been, oh god damn it. So I've been inspired to kind of throw some wrinkles into the games and stuff, as well as probably steal some of his at some point in the future. So
don't do that. He'll never shut up about it.
So
Brian never shuts up anyway. So
does anybody want to volunteer to go first for the 6 degrees round, where it doesn't really matter which?
I don't remember what game that is.
All right, this is the thing where I give you 3 hosts and 3 musical guests.
This is my least favorite game.
I know. I'll go.
Matt, I'm pretty sure you were the original person who suggested this game.
No, Brian suggested this one, so that's why I don't have a problem talking trash about it.
All right. I feel bad now. So who said they'd go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
The higher pitched voice said they would go first.
That's the only way I can tell you apart.
We do look an awful lot alike.
So here are your 3 celebrities. Michael Keaton, Tom Hanks, who was in Toy Story 3 with Michael Keaton, and Martin Short, who hosted an episode where Michael Keaton was impersonated. So your 3 again, Michael Keaton, Tom Hanks, Martin Short. And your 3 musical guests, Paul McCartney, Keith Richards, Joe Jackson.
Who the fuck is Joe Jackson?
Is she really going out with him?
I like that song.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Let's go. Fuck a duck. Okay, so let's go. So Michael Keaton hosted in 1982, which doesn't help me at all. Maybe that's not Joe Jackson. I'm going to say Martin Short is Paul McCartney. Tom Hanks. I'm going to go Tom Hanks and Keith Richards, and I'm going to go Michael Keaton and...
3 for 3. Congratulations. Martin Short, Paul McCartney was 2012, where Taron Killam impersonated Michael Keaton in... do you remember it was like Larry David stars in You're a Rat Bastard, Charlie Brown? It was a fun sketch. Go look up that sketch. Bill Hader did Al Pacino, and Al Pacino was Charlie Brown. Michael Keaton, Joe Jackson in 1982, and Tom Hanks, Keith Richards in 1988. I specifically chose a Tom Hanks episode where it was very hard to place the musician into a certain era. Every other Tom Hanks episode was like, that had to be a musician from like early 90s, late 90s, 2000s. Anyway. Yep, 3 for 3 for Leah. And then Matt. George Clooney.
Old Cloons.
Who was also a Batman. That was the connection. I was trying to remember it for a second.
The best Batman, some might say.
Adam West.
Michael Keaton and Matthew Perry, who impersonated Michael Keaton in a Celebrity Jeopardy episode.
Right.
Really?
Yep.
Like it would be an awful impression.
So those are your 3. Clooney, Keaton, Perry. Then the 3 musicians, or bands, Morrissey, The Cranberries, Oasis. Try to continue your excitement, Leah. Just to make it clear for any audio listeners, that might have sounded like a woo, this is hard, but no, it was her actually yawning. Just straight up like,
I might have thought it was a ghost. No, there was a ghost that came into the studio.
Well, the video watchers know that's not true because you're on camera.
I was just lacking oxygen. It wasn't because I was bored.
Matt?
You say Morrissey?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Frig. Okay, let's go Michael Keaton with Morrissey, George Clooney with the Cranberries, and Matthew Perry with Oasis.
3 for 3 as well, so... I don't know how to do this now. Guys, name a number between 1 and 10.
7.
4.
Matt was closer. It was 5. So Matt gets to go first for calendar. Yeah, what?
it down. You didn't even write it down as proof. I'm just supposed to. I know you like him more.
So much SNL trivia is on the line. This matters so much to so many people. All right. Matt, you get to go first, and then you can pass off the question if you find it too hard. Be given another question. There'll be 3 rounds of this, where each person gets a trivia question, and then up for grabs is one of those back of the calendar trivia questions. Everyone loves the back of the calendar.
All right.
Just as much as the front of it.
I'm poised.
All right. From March 12th, a 1970s question. Matt, what does Fred Garvin, male prostitute, like to show his clients? A, his AARP membership card. B, his backseat driver's license. C, a picture of his mom. Or D, recent test results. Leah, I swear to God, if you yawn again, I will boot you out of this. You won't even have a chance to win SNL Trivia.
I think, well, isn't it option E, pass?
You can pass. Leah,
Yo, I'm here.
did you hear that question, or were you too busy just, like, shitting all over this podcast?
Is there a correct answer there?
Yeah!
Was that the question?
What does Fred Garvin, male prostitute, like to show his clients? AARP membership card, backseat driver's license, picture of his mom, or recent test results?
A picture of his mom.
Incorrect. It was a backseat driver's license.
Ugh.
Well done passing on that, Matt. Your next question from the 2000s.
Wait, back it's another question?
Yeah, because that was your question now. He passed on it. He passed it over to you.
Can I decline it? Can I be like, no?
No!
Well, this
Same result, wrong.
just fuck
This
me
is why we
in
did the
half.
pick a number out of 10 and get closest.
You gotta get better at picking
down
numbers.
And we have no proof that that was the number that was picked, but okay.
Why do you think I like him more than I like you? That's a weird thing to get.
Really? Because so far you're kind of screwing me over in this game.
Also, I'm lovable, so.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
lovable? I'm goddamn lovable!
Scream even louder. Matt, what furniture... You have to take this question now. What furniture company does Katir Muhtar and his wife, played by Fred Armisen and Maya Rudolph, own? A, Couch Potatoes. B, Sofa King. C, Import Master Are We. And D, Chair Force One.
B.
Sofa King. You are correct.
Yes.
So it's one for Matt. And then, here we go. Whoever can get this can buzz in. Back of the calendar.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, this is an SNL calendar. It had trivia on the front. It also had bonus trivia on the back. The trivia, once I opened the calendar, turned out to have nothing to do with SNL. Just dumb trivia. So, whoever can get this, what hummingbird is the smallest of all hummingbirds?
Buzz.
Leah.
Tiny hummingbirds.
No. Matt?
The micro hummingbird.
No, it's the bee hummingbird, you fucking idiot.
I was gonna say bee! Oh, but just as a bee, not like as a...
Leah, how do we know? How do we know you were going to say B? You didn't write it down.
She crest and enveloped it.
All right. Okay, here we go. Matt, pick the correct slogan for this SNL product, Sub Shack, which was a commercial in the 1990s SNL. A, get a shack attack. B, where the only word that follows healthy is appetite.
Yeah.
C,
That's funny.
C, for when you can't afford the whole submarine.
There's only 3 options?
Yep.
I'm going to go with B because Leah laughed at it.
That is correct. You should thank Leah for helping you out. Where the only word that follows healthy is appetite.
Yay.
All right, Leah.
What?
Pick the correct slogan. You're so sad. Pick the correct slogan for the SNL product, Chewable Pampers, from the 2000s. A, why go to the pantry when your drawers are already full? B, fill your stomach, not the landfills. And C, the favorite of mothers everywhere, even Mother Nature.
A.
No, it's C, the favorite of mothers everywhere, even Mother Nature.
Oh.
Matt is up 5-3.
I didn't know there was values associated. Oh, because we went 3 for 3 in the first thing. Okay.
Now, up for whoever wants it. Multiple choice question, back of the calendar trivia. 50 years ago, what 1965 film won the Academy Award for Best Picture?
1965 film?
Yep. A, Darling. B, Ship of Fools. C, Dr. Zhivago. Or D, The Sound of Music.
Buzz. Let's say C.
No. Leah, do you want to guess?
I'm going to go A.
No, it's The Sound of Music, you dummies.
I feel like Rob only asks these questions as an excuse to abuse us verbally.
Where did the like dummy stuff come in?
Because it was that one I thought was extremely odd. The Sound of Music won a Best Picture. I think that's just common knowledge.
Okay, but we didn't know
you guys
65 necessarily.
You guys go with Dr. Zhivago and Darling. I don't even know if those movies.
I bet those are all.
You don't know what Dr. Zhivago is? Now who's the dummy?
No, I know Dr. Zhivago. I don't know if that won a Best Picture. Stop yelling! It's my podcast.
I would go out on a limb and say all of those have won Best Picture at some year.
All right, I didn't know it was that much of a trick. I'll be honest. I'm sorry. I apologize for yelling.
Thank you for apologizing.
Well, if you apologize, it makes it harder for us to yell back at you.
It's getting dark. I'm very scared. I'm all alone tonight, so.
Are you?
girlfriend is.
She left
She's
you?
out at the family. She's visiting family for Easter.
She's visiting your family? You weren't invited?
Yeah, she's visiting my family for Easter.
Aww, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
It was a wacky mix-up where I honestly thought I was invited, and they made sure to tell me, no, we just want her.
They like her better than you.
That's sad.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Matt. What band? No. Which guest host played Tiny Elvis?
Tiny Elvis?
Yep, 1990s. Which guest host played Tiny Elvis? Question from the weekend of Saturday, Sunday, March 21st and 22nd. There's no multiple choices.
Martin Short. Say Martin Short.
It's Matt!
She's telling me what to say.
I was helping you. Think tiny. Think tiny.
It was a guest host?
Yep.
Nicolas Cage?
How did you know that?
Because I remember the sketch.
How did you know that?
I've seen that sketch before.
Oh, I guess that would make Nicolas
Cage.
Yeah, Elvis. Yeah. You said Elvis, right?
Yep. Leah.
I'm like a goldfish. I don't remember.
Sweepe. It's pronounced as Sweepe.
Leah.
Yo.
From Monday, March 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
A 1980s question.
Nice.
What band does Clarence Walker, played by Eddie Murphy, claim to be a fifth member of?
Ooh. How many people were in the Jackson 5? 5?
Good shtick. Good shtick.
Was that a genuine question?
The fact that she answered herself immediately after makes it fun.
Wow.
I think that was a genuine question.
I'm gonna go. James Brown. How many people's in his band? Is that a band?
I personally would guess a band that I know had 4 members, but.
I would guess the name of a band and not a singer, but that's just me.
He had a band.
Yeah, but the band is not called James Brown. Lee, I'm gonna let you.
Matthews Band. That's called.
The Dave Matthews Band? Oh.
Yeah.
That's not your guess. You're just giving an answer. Yeah, they still have band on the name of the end of their name. Name a band with 4 people.
Boys to Men.
This is a 1980s question.
How many guesses does she get?
No, she's done.
I'd like to know, because for my next question, how many guesses I get.
It was the Beatles. It was the Beatles.
It was the Beatles. Obviously, it was the Beatles.
That's funny. They also were not in the 80s, though. Why are you telling me, like, a band from the 80s?
They pre-exist the 80s versus Boys to Men and Spice Girls, which are popular 90s records.
Sketch take place in a different time period. Ahem yourself.
I feel like you guys are just nitpicking.
Final back at the calendar trivia. Whoever gets
music.
Whoever gets this gets everything.
Buzz.
What? No.
Who was the first woman to be U.S. Secretary of State? A. Elizabeth Dole, B. Condoleezza Rice, C. Madeleine Albright, D. Carol Moseley Braun.
C.
Ooh.
C.
I'd go C. I don't know.
Who was the first person to buzz in?
I just yelled C. Buzz, C.
Okay.
I yelled buzz before the thingy started.
We'll have to go back to the tape, but I think Matt won.
I did! I
Yay!
said buzz
Yeah.
before it even thing.
Well, before you even asked a question?
Yeah, I was expecting him
can't
to
do
tell me
that.
that. Yes, you can. I was just
So Matt
expecting him
wins.
to
I
say
lock you out on Jeopardy.
Matt wins with infinity plus 6, and Leah has 3, I think.
Wait, what? That's bad
Chopping you up.
scorekeeping.
So what did we learn here today, guys?
It means
Nothing.
if you yawn your way through the games, you're never going to prosper.
What did we learn from today's Michael Keaton SNL? Leah?
Evidently, Boyz II Men was not around in the 80s.
And Matt?
Like our shower.
We learned that Matt's connection is terrible.
Yep. He said something about my shower curtain now. Somebody's
I
whistling.
answered
whistling.
you.
I'm picking up whistling.
I said
All
we
right,
learned
we'll end it because
I-
that's, I think, a roommate.
Tell him to shut the
I was
fuck up.
talking. I didn't get to say my lesson.
Sorry, what was your lesson, Matt?
Oh, that Carly Rae Jepsen likes to wear a shower curtain.
There you go.
Oh, when did she wear a shower curtain?
Her
I
first
fast
dress
forwarded.
had those sort of loops that you see on a shower curtain, like the rings.
Oh, huh.
Well, Matt's
Yeah.
just very behind in fashion. That's just what's going on right now. Lady Gaga opened it all up years
Did
ago.
you used to like Carly Rae Jepsen?
Who are you talking to?
To Matthew over there.
She reps our nation, of course. We're very proud of her up here.
Canadian Idol, most
It just
successful
seems-
Canadian Idol person, maybe.
It just seems like you have a lot of animosity built up towards the Carly.
I don't think so necessarily.
You don't-
I'm
you
proud
said
of her for
nothing
being
nice
a pop
about her.
star at like 29 years old. That's almost impossible these days.
That is, I mean, I figured I didn't know she was still alive. I thought they had murdered her because she was so old
Mm-hmm.
as a
No,
pop
she
star.
could just stop associating herself with Justin Bieber would be good.
I don't know. Did you see that roast? It was so funny. No, I didn't.
Was
not.
she in that?
No. Just the idea of associating yourself with Justin Bieber. Apparently, Hannibal Buress had a joke about like,
Hannibal's my hero.
I'm glad to be here at your attempt to be more likable. I don't even know you, but I'm just here because this betters my career. Apparently, it was
Yeah.
very funny.
No, I think it was just face flat out like, I don't like you. This seems like a transparent attempt for you to become more likable. I hope it doesn't work. I'm
I
only
think
here
that
for
one
this for
got
my
cut,
career.
maybe.
And
I think
that part
one
apparently got edited out. So I love Hannibal. He's I admire him.
I do
Somebody-
love me some Hannibal.
Hopefully, he'll host one day.
Nah.
What?
Seems
Maybe.
unlikely.
All right. I want to thank everybody for being part of this. Leah, where can people find you?
People can find me at Leah Sueko on the Twitter sphere.
Do you want to spell that? I just realized that some people might not know how to spell that.
For all of the highly concerned people of finding me on Twitter, it would be Sueko.
And Matthew, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter, and it's spelled at LeahSueko.
I'm also on Twitter at RobExists. Okay, thanks everybody. This will be fun. Also, by the way, if you're listening on the Trivia Club feed, I'll probably have put a thing at the beginning of the recording. But we now have separate feeds for podcasts now, so you can
Separate but equal.
You can go onto iTunes and you can search Deep Thoughts on SNL and subscribe specifically to Deep Thoughts on SNL so that you don't have to subscribe to every Trivia Club podcast all at the same time because they're all
Sure,
great,
there's
but
more
you might only like one or two or something. So there you go.
We'll do some more on the Trivia Club feed, I'm sure.
Yes, there are vague plans. There are plans.
Yeah.
There you go.
Time capsule on Avengers, probably.
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to define what the line is for a spectacular pop culture event that we need to talk about.
I think Avengers will meet that.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, I'm convinced. Tickets are on sale at Cineplex now.
I mean, Brian promised on like episode 2 of Time Capsule that we'd talk about the Parks and Rec finale, and then I just said nothing, and then that it did not happen. So there you go. All right. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome!
Bye.